welcome to Entrepreneur Talks podcast run by Women Flix. I'm so excited and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yola. Equally excited to be here as well.
Fantastic. And before we get into your to your story, to your journey, could you tell me where are you talking from?
Yes, I am calling in from Bangkok, Thailand.
Ah, I think you were my first one on in Thailand. I love that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad.
Oh my God. And I love that. I love that country. Just the pictures. I've never been there, but it is on my bucket list for sure. Actually,
So
COVID,
honored.
COVID stopped me as well. I had another guest that I was talking, and I said one of the countries I was planning to go last year was Hungary and then Thailand.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
due to COVID, everything's changed. But there we go.
hmm
We are safe and
Hopefully
well.
soon.
Yeah, that's right. Your country is beautiful. It is beautiful.
Yes. And especially now because during COVID, there was not a lot of tourists. So now the ocean and the beach is especially
Mm.
clean. So whenever the chance you go, you have the chance, definitely
Yeah,
do come by.
yeah. Everywhere in the world, I think we became more clean, and that was one of
So
the
true.
one of the good things happened because COVID.
Hmm.
Really, really good. But thank you so much for sharing where you are right now and enjoy your country and the sunshine, the weather, the mangoes, everything, fruits.
hmm
Good.
Fruits, yeah. Coconut.
Fantastic. So, and now, getting back to you, just you, Fair. How how would you describe yourself on 3 words as a person?
Wow. 3 words. I would say compassionate, kind, and listener.
Amazing. That's really good. It's really good. This gives me idea always who I am talking to. And that's really good. Even myself, I'm so peaceful now. I was very woohoo on the other podcast, recording the other guest. And now I'm like, "Ooh, I don't know. It's just the energy is flowing from that
Mm-hmm.
side to here, which is good.
Oh, yes. I often find that, Zoom or virtual meetings are a little bit difficult, but sometimes I feel, like you said, you can feel the energy
Yeah,
coming
yeah, yeah,
across
yeah.
the screen. And
Yeah,
that's always a good type of meeting.
yeah, definitely, definitely. And so, Fair, you are you have your own business, right?
Yeah.
What's the name?
The name is MindTerra.
Why MindTerra? What that means?
That's Yes. And this was funny because we took a long time for us to pick the right name. My co-founder and I and our team went through many rounds of kind of brainstorming, but Mind Terra just felt so right. Terra means land. And for us, it's always important to have a community aspect, that land, that place where we want people to feel safe and supported and included for their mind. So hence the name Mind Terra. It's the land for your mind to come and relax.
Wow. And so I love it. I love the meaning, which is mind. I didn't realize was about mind till now.
Mhm.
I just read Mind Terra, and it remembers me another brand that I know, which is with essential oils. But I was kind of Mind Terra. Mind Terra must be, but it's beautiful because it's the mind and the peace and the like the land. So, and where do you run your business? Is it online business or is also because you mentioned community? How do you do this?
It's currently all online just because we started during the pandemic when we saw that people were isolated and people were, under lockdown. And so that's when we felt that need for connection again. Even though we're virtual, people wanted genuine, authentic connections. And so that is what we're all about too.
Oh, okay. So in that case, you run online meetings. Tell me more about it. I'm like curious, like how exactly do you guys do?
Yes. So we pride ourselves in being both a community and a platform, using writing as a tool for people to care for their mental well-being and mental health. And what we do, we provide live guided writing sessions. And in those sessions, we come together to write and journal and reflect about our everyday being and so on and so forth. Sometimes there are themes as well. We
Mhm.
also have therapist talks where we invite clinicians and therapists to come help us destigmatize mental health. I think a lot of the times, mental health is still a very much sensitive topic. Sometimes it can be a taboo topic. So we want to help destigmatize that and raise awareness about that. So all of our events are online. We have free sessions as well as donation-based ones.
Okay. So and you started this business like during the COVID, like you said, so last year.
Last year, yep, we started in March of last year, so March 2020.
Wow. And what is the story behind MindTerra? Why did you start?
Yeah, it started, well, inspired for sure and propelled by the pandemic. I'm not gonna lie, I was in isolation and missed people, missed that connection, talking to new faces and strangers. And really, though, the aspect of mental health and writing has always been something I've been passionate about. Actually, I was terrified of writing. I remember being in eighth grade and I got kind of my essay back that I wrote for the teacher, and it was full of red, like circles of like red crosses. And I was like, I don't want to write ever again.
Oh,
But I realized like how, my fear of writing also sort of played into my fear of speaking up. And that also played into my mental health when I wasn't allowed to speak up, when I couldn't be myself. And
right.
so I've been journaling pretty consistently recently, in these past few years, and I kind of realized, wow, it's been such a powerful tool. And there's actually an established scientific paradigm on expressive writing, which is what we're trying to do. Also, how that helps with people's mental health.
That's fantastic. That's beautiful. And I totally understand when you say about when you were young and you had the fear about it, because seeing what you've seen from a test result, an exam result, and I had that. And I also I love blogging. I love writing.
Mm,
I can't remember really if I started to write when I was 12 or before, but I
mhm.
still do have diaries from that time. Was all
Oh,
about, yeah, all about love and things that happened to my life, my because we are so natural, so open. Like I remember the way I write now and the way I used to write is completely different, but was so
mm,
pure, so magical, so lovely, like full of love and that kind of energy. And then with the years passing, I start to write more about fear, about
mm,
loneliness, about lost. And
mm,
yeah, a lot of stuff came into life because you're growing and you're taking things in a different way. But this then
mm.
I again change my writing. Do you believe like it is possible, right, to change like through your life you change the
For
way
sure. For sure. And I love that you say, it's like that transition. And sometimes I wonder when that happens too. Like, it, like you said, it was so pure and magical as a child to write about your days. And now I think it kind of actually shows how all these things come into you as life progresses, but there's always this inner child within you. I think love, it shows you, right, that before all of this happened, you are a loving being,
for
and love is kind of the default, right? And everything was magical. And so sometimes I think writing, journaling and writing reflections can kind of draw that out of you as well. It can sort of bring you back to tap into that, to be more intentional about gratitude. What are you grateful for? And like you said, writing about love and things like that.
Yeah, because these days my writing is more specific, you know. It's like a journal, but specific with I'm how I'm gonna say, like I'm gonna do a little of reflection, and then a little of gratitude, and then goals, and then what I learned from yesterday. So it's not anymore based on that. Yesterday I went to the shop and I loved my mom gave me something. It is based on other vision, because there we go. We grow and we learn, and we also, I find very important for me this today to create the opportunity on my day, on my daily basis, write about gratitude, write about reflection, and write about goals and struggles, to see what I'm going to be, what is my challenges for today. I want to make sure that I can talk with people and don't judge. This is an example. But then the goals is to love, to care, to speak, to listen, and that's my daily. But then the goals is to love, to care, to speak, to listen, and that's my daily now, instead of that kind of writing that I used to do. So I do a completely different writing these days, and I love it. I love it. It's so powerful as well. It's so powerful.
I love that you have that structure, and it's all such good topics for you to touch on, to really feel anchored, I think, to what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah, that's great.
Totally. And this is all about our mindsets as well, where we are, right?
Absolutely.
Where we are. And one curiosity that just came up now into my mind, Fair, what kind of public do you work with?
We work with mostly women and women of color. I think why that is because, well, as a woman of color myself, growing up, looking, different, being Asian as well. And I think I realized that, our voices sometimes are not heard. And I think with the whole recent thing with Sarah Everard, it just highlights and just brings back to the surface that, women are always cautious. And I think not only physically, but also with our voices, because what we say can hurt us sometimes. And so I think that has been something that I've experienced, that, if I say something, will they like it? I'm extra careful. And so I think through writing, we want to uplift women and women of color's voices, because we know it's been hard, and we want every woman to use her voice because they matter. And I think that's, all that is linked, like how confident you are with what you say correlates to your self-esteem and your self-worth. And I want everyone to feel comfortable in their skin and to love themselves, love their voices. And so this is one of the ways that, we think can help.
Fantastic. That's really good. And that brings me back to the reason you created this. And there was anyone in your family that went through mental health issues, or any of you, of the founders, because we always have a reason for this, right?
Yeah. I think both my co-founder and I kind of went through mental health challenges, for sure. For me personally, it was after graduating from college. That was when kind of my anxiety was at a very high level. I was never kind of diagnosed, but I think that is already itself telling, because it is so stigmatized to go find a therapist or a psychiatrist, especially in Thailand, where I'm from. You know, here, when you talk about mental illness, they call you crazy. They're actually the word for mental health, like mental health patients, or like patient who's mentally ill, they use the word crazy synonymously. And so that is already such a challenge. And personally, I've been through both kind of, you know, having to hide what I feel, and also feeling just very scared and anxious of what's to come and the uncertainty. And I think that's so relevant, particularly today with the pandemic. I think people, like, anxiety levels are at an all-time high, given what is going on around us.
That's so true. That's so true. We are living. Sometimes I just stop and I look around and I think, wow, there must be so many people that is in need in terms of mental health, because
Mhm.
we've been locked down. The
Mm,
lockdown just brings craziness to
mhm,
minds. Because there we go. I'm grateful because I do have a business that I can run online, you as well.
mm,
But imagine if we don't have that power to think, to transform as well to online work from a normal, like on an office.
mhm,
There's a lot of great businesses, they didn't have the strength, or they didn't believe enough to do that transaction, because I don't know how to work with Zoom, or I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to send an email. They was used to, and they get into depression and they get into mental health issues totally
mhm,
straight away, without even think too much about it, because people became locked down, like
mhm,
closed indoors without anywhere to go or to talk.
mhm.
This is going to be,
Poor.
have you thought about, Fair, the change now, like coming to the normal life is not going to become any more normal like used to?
Mhm.
Don't you think? You agree? I do think like it's going to be very hard for a lot of people.
Mhm. I completely agree. And I think there's a phrase that I am now hearing more of, is like the new normal, right?
Yeah.
Now people will have to find new ways to um, either pivot or innovate with their businesses. There will be new kind of issues, and I think there's new workarounds. I do think, though, that if we're not fearful of it, but we embrace it,
Mhm.
that's a good mindset to go in as well. That, you know, don't be resistant to it, because I think this is what it is, right? We're never going to go back to normal
No,
again.
yeah, correct. Yeah.
So how can we adjust to this, and what opportunities can we take as well from this?
True. Yes, that's really, really good. And by the way, what keeps you anchored and motivated to carry on?
That is such a great question, because I and I think, like you said, you kind of do this reflection journaling where you're like, okay, what are my goals? I think I ask myself that quite often as well. What keeps me anchored? Um, I run these sessions as well, these live guided writing sessions. So we have peer facilitators, and I'm also one of them. And what keeps me really anchored to this mission is every time I run a session,
The same.
uh, there's never been the same, exactly. And every time I hear something new from our community, and I hear like a brave, you know, someone share
Yeah.
something so vulnerable about themselves. Maybe one example is we have one participant who is a brain cancer survivor, and she shared so vulnerably and strongly, and she broke into tears and just said about her experience and how she's now proud to be a survivor. And with that, I just feel like there are so many women of color out there who have these stories and who have yet to fully embrace whatever they are and whoever they are. And I just want to see a world where we can uplift each other and everyone's confident in using their voice and realize that their story matters.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part.
That's beautiful. And these women that you always talk, and I'm so curious about to get to know them as well. They are from your country only, or they are around the globe?
It is around the world. We have participants in the US, in Nepal, in Singapore, Taiwan, all over the world. We really hope to be a global community.
It's really, really good. Good to know, because is this kind of work like you're doing right now is going to be so much needed for the next steps now after lockdowns and COVID ends. I don't know, we still don't know when it's going to finish, but it's so much needed right now in the world. And I hope MindTerra becomes like a huge place, like international, where we can just connect. Because from today, Fair, I'm gonna be sincere. If I will think, or if I will met someone that needs support on that way, in a on just to write, like you mentioned, to write that like create the expressive writing, I will send them to you.
Oh, Yola, that is so sweet. That's probably the sweetest thing you can.
Nobody's true, because it really amazed me what you guys are doing, and this is really good. Even if I feel like, okay, I'm getting down, which I treat myself every single day, like I said to you, doesn't mean that I can't struggle as well, doesn't mean that I can't have my bad days. And maybe I'm getting to, if I will think about, now you came into my list, you know, understand what I mean? I will think
Yeah.
about MindTerra. Okay, let me see if it can help me. It's true, it is really amazing what you've been doing. I'm so glad to have the opportunity to share this with my listeners, and to listen as well from yourself. And
Thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you very much. This is really good. And Fair, right now, one of my last questions. This is not going to be a question, but what would you say to someone, like right now, like a tip to someone that is going through mental health problems?
Yeah. Wow, that is a great question. And I think because that can take shape very differently for each person. But one thing that I find that always helped me is being able to sit with that feeling, whatever you're feeling, being really present to them and not judging them. I think that is a huge, huge thing you can do for yourself, because I think whenever the problem comes from whenever we feel sad or angry or down or frustrated, we jump straight to,
The problem.
I shouldn't be feeling
Mm.
this, right? And we go like, I need to be. I think realize that your body is feeling a certain way and you're feeling a certain way, and there's a reason for it. And so sit with it, don't judge it, let it be a little bit, and then, come back to kind of ground yourself down and feel centered again with what is around you. Be present to the moment and see, like, what is actually wrong with this? Because I think most oftentimes when you come back and be present, nothing is wrong in the moment. A lot of things happen in your head. So kind of, I would say the tip is sit down, feel your feelings, get present, don't judge it,
Right.
and then
Very good.
come back to the moment.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. That's really good. And now my last question will be, how can people connect with you and find more about your work? Where they can.
Yes. Yeah, well, for MindTerra, you can check us out on Instagram or Facebook. It's at mindterra.co, so .co. and visit our website as well. It's the same name, www.mindterra.co, and you can sign up for our events. We have weekly free live guided writing sessions, and we also have various events such as therapist talks where we invite therapists to come in, and we also have longer writing courses as well. So they can find us there.
Fantastic. All this information will be attached to your description when your podcast comes live. So anyone can go and connect with you and get support if they need, or even check it out to be able to help others. Just do our
Perfect.
part. Yeah.
I
Thank
love that you do that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Fair, was really a pleasure to be here with you, and I'm so amazed by what you're doing, and I'm hoping that you continue and grow and empower more people to get from that phase to a better for a better mental health situation. All right, you take
Yeah,
care.
thank you. Thank you so much, Yola, for giving me this space and hopefully for listeners to hear this.
Thank you too. You're welcome. You take care. Bye bye.